Part 44. Super God System Becomes Infinitely Stronger. Author, Shuxiang ZK. Chapter 431. Gong Cai chuckled, "Don't be naive, everyone in the Yan family is going to die today, so of course we have to root it out. You are so cruel." Haha, Gong Cai smiled proudly. At the same time, he turned to look at Chu Wei and looked at Chu Wei. The smile on Gong Cai's face subsided a little, because this person always looked calm about everything that happened in front of him. "Aren't you afraid of death?" Gong Cai asked. "Don't be afraid, because you will die first," Chu Wei said calmly. "Hee, boy, it seems that not only Wang Ming hates you, but now even I hate you a little. Forget it, I will kill you first, and it will be worthy of the death of Wang Ming's brother." Nausea. Seeking death, Gong Cai's hand under the black robe directly drew a sword energy towards Chu Wei. It was a sword energy like a flame. Chu Wei swayed slightly and quickly dodged away. When he looked at Gong Cai again, he saw that there was a chopping knife formed by fire power in Gong Cai's hand. It was about 2 meters long and had blazing flames burning on it. The sword energy that Chu Wei had just dodged cut a huge gash in the wall of the villa in an instant, and there were still traces of flames scorching the gash. After the superpower is transformed into a form, it not only transforms the superpower into an indestructible weapon, but also retains the original attribute attack of the superpower. "There's something going on inside," a bodyguard in the yard said. "No matter what," Brother Wang Ming said, "no matter what happens, just pretend you don't know about it, and everyone will get a lot of money after that. Otherwise, you know Brother Wang Ming's methods." The head of the bodyguard said. "Understood, understood. I didn't see it, and I don't know. I just fell asleep. Just understand." The Great Awakener, Chu Wei, who was in the villa hall, looked at Gong Cai calmly and spoke. "Yes, if you beg for mercy now, I can consider letting you die easier." Seeing that Gong Cai was a real Great Awakener, Yan Luojun next to him moved his body and wanted to take action. However, the poisonous gas in his body immediately caused him to spit out a mouthful of blood again. "Dad, just stop moving and save your body first. Chu Wei can do it." Yan Chenexai, who was supporting Yan Luojun beside him, spoke hurriedly. Although Chu Wei simply dodged just now, Yan Chenexai had fought against Chu Wei before. Although his speed was fast before, it was definitely not as fast as when he dodged just now. There is only one possibility, and that is that Chu Wei has become stronger again during the half-month absence, and much stronger. How does this guy practice? Yan Chenexai looked at Chu Wei. This little brother was really like a mystery. Hey, that's the only way it can be. If this Chu Wei can really save my Yan family from disaster, what if my Yan family's treasure box is given to him? Yan Luojun sighed. As long as he had someone to protect the Yan family, he wouldn't even want to give up his ancestors' treasure chest. After all, if his life is gone, then there is nothing. Although he is a bit stupid, he still clearly distinguishes the pros and cons at the critical moment. However, as soon as he finished speaking, Chu Wei said calmly, "Are you serious about what you said?" Yan Luojun's eyes were stunned, and he immediately said, Really, but can you beat the palace? Super God System Becomes Infinitely Stronger." Author, Shuxiang ZK. Chapter 432. "You don't have to worry about this," Chu Wei said coldly. Yan Luojun said that whoever saved him would own the treasure chest, so Chu Wei didn't rob him. However, all these things were originally done by Yan Luojun himself. If Chu Wei had opened the treasure chest according to the agreement at the beginning, Chu Wei would not have been embarrassed to take advantage of the situation at this time. But the other party didn't believe in him, so he didn't need to be a good person. He just took what he should take. "Haha, kid, you are really awesome. You can still talk about business here at this time. You really don't take me, Gong Cai, to heart at all. You are nothing. I need to take you to heart. I haven't killed a great awakener in reality. Today you are the first one. Chu Wei moved his fingers, and a black longsword slowly took shape in front of Chu Wei. First, the hilt, then the blade. The black longsword was as smooth as a mirror, and it was so gorgeous that it could almost reflect light. You are also a great awakener in the form of a superpower, Gong Cai was shocked. Yan Chenexai and Yan Luojun were both shocked, especially Yan Chenexai, although he had great confidence in Chu Wei. But when she saw Chu Wei's ability form, she couldn't help but open her mouth wide. It had only been half a month since they last met, and Chu Wei had actually entered the Great Awakener from the 6th level of Awakener. This really made her have to be shocked. Because no one would believe this kind of thing if she told it to others. Take her father for example, it took him 20 years to enter the Great Awakener from the 6th level of Awakener. At this moment, Chu Wei was not only confused in her mind, but she felt that the two were not in the same world. The Great Awakener is still a little short, but it's more than enough to kill you. Huh, I thought you were the Great Awakener. It seems that you only got the ability to form, so don't be so arrogant in front of me. Gong Cai's flame knife directly slashed a blade of sword energy again. The blazing flames on the sword energy made the air have a sense of evaporation and distortion. However, Chu Wei flicked his finger, and the black longsword casually slashed in front of him, and the flame knife energy dissipated directly. It's my turn. Chu Wei pointed his finger, and the longsword immediately stabbed at Gong Cai. Gong Cai blocked it with a knife. However, with a click, the black longsword easily cut Gong Cai's transformed flame knife into 2 pieces. And the momentum did not decrease, cutting off Gong Cai's entire palm. Ah! You, what kind of superpower is this? Gong Cai roared in horror. Why do you ask so many questions when you are dying? Chu Wei moved his finger, and the black longsword continued to cut at the opponent's head. Gong Cai rolled on the ground and dodged awkwardly. Damn it, Gong Cai roared, and 2 exhaust holes like cars suddenly appeared on the soles of his legs. Then blue flames spurted out from it, and Gong Cai's body instantly flew away like an airplane. Want to run? Chu Wei's back shook, and the wings of the flying blade appeared behind him. He chased after Gong Cai directly. Watching the two flying away in the air, Yan Luojun let out a long sigh. Now it seems that the lives of himself and his family are temporarily saved. He looked at Yan Chenexai next to him. Yan Chenexai's eyes were looking at the horizon, where Gong Cai and Chu Wei disappeared. Don't worry, although Chu Wei is not a great awakener yet, if I am not mistaken, his ability just now should be the famous Dark Light ability in the United States. He is from the Imperial Capital Academy. Yan Luojun said. After all, he is a person of some status in the eastern United States and has some knowledge. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Super God system becomes infinitely stronger. Author, Shu Xiangzike. Chapter 433. I didn't expect that the dark light power that had been in the Imperial Academy for 200 years was obtained by someone again today. His future is limitless. Yan Luojun sighed. He had doubts about Chu Wei's combat power before. But now it's gone. Chu Wei has the dark light ability that has awakened a life form. Even if he and Gong Cai combined, they may not be Chu Wei's opponent. What's more, Gong Cai is alone. Chu Wei, who was chasing Gong Cai in the air, was also secretly frightened. This Gong Cai escaped really fast. He had used teleportation several times, but still couldn't catch up with him. Fortunately, the distance between the two has become closer and closer. Hell, is this guy a monster? He's obviously not a great awakener, yet he's so fast, but hey, my base camp is coming. As long as he dares to follow me, I will kill him 1,000 times, 10,000 times. Gong Cai looked at his severed hand that was still bleeding, his eyes full of hatred. After flying for a while, Gong suddenly landed on a flat land in the mountains. As soon as Gong Cai landed, a steel door opened immediately on the flat ground, and Gong Cai stepped in. The steel door closed immediately. Under the steel gate is an elevator, which leads directly to a depth of thousands of meters underground. And there is a huge underground base underground, just like a steel high-rise building built underground. Chu Wei then landed on the flat ground and took a look around. He was surrounded by mountains one after another, but they were all bare and without any plants. Chu Wei glanced at his feet, moved his fingers, and slashed a black long sword to the ground. A circle was drawn, and a burst of sparks appeared. After the circle was drawn, there was a boom sound, and the circle fell like a big cake, and a circle like an underground water entrance appeared on the ground. Chu Wei's wings trembled and he chased after him. For the sake of the treasure, we have to hunt him down to the end of the world. Chu Wei followed the elevator passage straight down, as if going from the top of the building to the bottom of the building. In the base at the bottom of the building, Gong Cai looked at the monitoring screen in front of him in a main monitoring room. This monitoring screen can see all the pictures of the entire underground base. Chu Wei's figure can be seen on the screen, heading towards the underground. You, do I owe you money? Are you chasing after me in such a hurry? Just let me send you to the west. Gong Cai angrily pressed a red button on the screen in the monitoring room. As soon as the button was pressed, Chu Wei, who was still flying in the elevator passage, immediately felt something rising from the ground. After a breath, Chu Wei opened his eyes slightly and saw two missiles the size of a pedestrian coming towards him from below. Chu Wei moved his fingers, and two black long swords immediately attacked the missile. Boom! Boom! There were two loud noises, and a huge explosion ignited in the passage. You can't just die like this, Gong Cai on the screen chuckled. However, the next second, Chu Wei's figure on the screen suddenly flew out from the exploding storm and continued to pursue him underground. You're not dead? It doesn't matter if you're not dead. I'll let you know what despair means in my base. Gong Cai pressed his finger again and pressed a green button. Just after pressing this button, a room in the base slowly opened on the screen. Super God System becomes infinitely stronger. Author, Shuxiang ZK. Chapter 434. After the room opened, a steel tiger walked out. It was about 3 meters tall and had a pair of wings on its back, just like a transformer. However, its pair of eyes are not robot-like eyes, but tiger-like pupils. Obviously it is not a robot, but a combination of a machine and a tiger, with the animality of a tiger and the steel body of a machine. Let my little baby tiger play with you, Gong Cai smiled teasingly. Chu Wei, who was in the elevator passage, had already flown out of the elevator entrance. Outside the elevator entrance was a huge passage with rooms one after another on both sides of the passage. Chu Wei took a brief look, and he vaguely felt that this underground base was slightly similar to the alien spacecraft he had seen. It's all this gray feeling. Touch. 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 There was a loud noise from the front of the passage, and a shadow was quickly moving towards Chu Wei in the passage. The shadow was extremely fast and arrived in front of Chu Wei in a short time. When Chu Wei saw its tiger-like body clearly, it had already pounced directly towards Chu Wei. When he pounced on him, he was extremely fast, and the power in his claws tore through the air. He was definitely in the realm of the Great Awakener. Chu Wei ducked away as soon as he lowered his body. The iron tiger turned around, and the steel on his body formed flying knives and flew directly at them. They were so densely packed that they looked like a swarm of wasps. There is no way to dodge such an attack. Chu Wei sucked his hand, held the black longsword in his hand, and rushed over with the longsword in his hand. At the same time, the longsword continued to rotate in his hand, like a windmill. Whenever the flying knives came over, they were all smashed to pieces by Chu Wei's windmill. Chu Wei rushed to the Iron Tiger and waved his longsword sideways. The Iron Tiger's body immediately became like tofu, and Chu Wei cut it into 2 pieces horizontally from the chest. Climb the tower. The Iron Tiger turned into a pile of scrap metal and piled it in front of Chu Wei. As soon as his footsteps moved, Chu Wei followed the passage and continued to chase. Bang, with a sound, Gong Cai in the monitoring room slapped the table hard. Damn it, this kid is clearly not at the 9th level of the Awakened One, but he can kill my pet tiger. Damn it, it's all a transformed superpower in its hand. This superpower is so powerful that it can easily cut through the defense of the Great Awakener. It's really abominable. Gong Cai roared in the monitoring room. After roaring, when he looked at the monitoring screen again, Chu Wei was not far from his monitoring room. He immediately pressed another red button on the screen. It seems that the only way to do this is to let Ying hold him back for a while. In another room on the surveillance screen, a giant steel eagle flew out. This giant eagle was also made of steel, but on its tail were 3 steel snake heads that opened their mouths and screamed. It looks extremely fierce. After releasing the eagle, Gong Cai did not stop, but pressed another black button on the monitoring screen. You bastard, let my precious dragon kill you. After pressing the button, a room in the deepest part of the base slowly opened on the screen. The room was dark, but when the room was completely opened, a pair of green vertical pupils lit up in the room instantly. Then a body over 100 meters long slowly crawled out of the door. Super God System becomes infinitely stronger. Author, Shu Xiangzike. Chapter 435. This was a giant steel python that was more than 100 meters long and as thick as a person. When it crawled out, countless green light spots suddenly lit up on its body. Then, countless snake heads suddenly appeared on its entire body, densely packed one after another. Those green light spots just now were clearly the eyes of these snake heads. Hiss. The huge mouth of this 100-meter giant snake, which was as big as a tank, hissed, and the snake heads on its body also hissed. Countless snake heads neighed together, showing their fierceness, as if they wanted to choose someone to devour. With a sound of brush, the giant python headed towards the passage where Chu Wei was. Chu Wei, who was in the passage, was now facing the giant steel eagle with 3 snake tails. This giant eagle is also in the realm of the Great Awakener. Its claws can transform into 2 laser guns. The aura bullets fired from the laser guns are more than 20 centimeters long. They're all a bit like small laser guns. Very powerful. Chu Wei dodged left and right in the opponent's laser gun, and the bullets passed by Chu Wei one by one, making a bump. Bang, sound on the surrounding walls. Such an intensive attack, if Chu Wei were not fast enough and possessed the art of instantaneous movement, I am afraid that other Great Awakeners would have died in such an attack. After dodging another round of bullet attacks, Chu Wei disappeared in a flash. When he appeared the next second, he was already in front of the giant eagle, and the black sword in his hand slashed across the giant eagle's neck. Brush. In an instant, the neck and body of the giant eagle had separated, and the entire huge body fell directly to the ground. Just when Chu Wei thought the battle was over, the 3 snake tails of the giant eagle suddenly moved. They opened their mouths, and spiritual energy cannons were condensing in their mouths. The snake's head and tail have now turned into 3 cannons. Whoosh! 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 3 fist-sized spiritual energy cannons attacked Chu Wei from 3 directions, up, left, and right. Seal all the directions in which Chu Wei can escape. Chu Wei quickly drew 3 swords with the black sword in his hand, and the 3 1-meter-long sword energy immediately went towards the spiritual energy cannon. Boom! 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 There were 3 explosions in succession. The spiritual energy cannon and the sword energy cancelled each other out and disappeared in the explosion. Chu Wei moved his body, and in the next second he appeared in front of the 3 snake heads. With a wave of his sword, Chu Wei did not wait for the 3 snake heads to condense the spiritual energy cannon. With one sword, all 3 snake heads were chopped off. In this way, this giant eagle is completely dead. Damn it! This kid killed one of my pet babies again. I must see how he dies. In the control room, Gong Cai's eyes were already red in front of the screen. He had paid a huge price to get these 2 giant steel beasts. Each one had the strength of the Great Awakener, and each one could be equivalent to the lord of a city. However, he was beheaded by Chu Wei. Long, kill him, kill this bastard. Gong Cai roared, and at the same time, on the screen, the 100-meter giant python called a dragon had arrived in front of Chu Wei. Hiss! The giant python roared, and a strong gust of wind appeared in its mouth, blowing the dead giant eagle far away. When it hit the wall behind, it made a sound of bump. 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 The giant python is very powerful. After roaring, a burst of light lit up directly from the giant python's mouth. It was a spiritual energy cannon, and it was many times larger than the spiritual energy cannon in the snake's head on the tail of the giant eagle just now. It's as tall as a person. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Super God system becomes infinitely stronger. Author, Xu Xiangzike. Chapter 436. Whoosh. The spiritual energy cannon roared and headed directly towards Chu Wei. Chu Wei was submerged in an instant. This spiritual energy cannon was too big and too long. After submerging Chu Wei's figure, it hit the wall behind like a truck. There was a loud noise of boom. The entire tunnel trembled. Even an underground base made of all steel could not withstand such a powerful spiritual energy cannon attack. Ha ha ha. I finally hit this bastard. Gong Cai in the monitoring room laughed out loud when he saw the scene just now. On the screen in front of him, the sparks of the explosion almost covered the entire screen. On the screen, the smoke from the explosion gradually dissipated, and a huge black hole appeared in the steel wall that had just been hit by the spiritual energy cannon. It is more than 10 meters high and wide. Next to the hole is the battered steel. This shot is probably enough to kill anyone with level 1 Great Awakening below. The power is so amazing. Gong Cai's eyes carefully searched for traces of Chu Wei on the screen in front of him. After searching for a while, he found that Chu Wei's figure was no longer on the screen. Did you become a dregs in the explosion just now? Gong Cai's face showed joy. But the joy didn't stay on his face for 3 seconds, when Chu Wei's figure suddenly appeared from nowhere, and suddenly appeared on the top of the giant python's head. Not good. In his eyes, the luxurious reflective black sword in Chu Wei's hand was inserted directly into the head of the giant python. And Chu Wei's body dragged the black sword and ran back along the python's head. He ran 100 meters from the head to the python's tail. Brush. When Chu Wei's figure ran to the tail, the entire body of the giant python was cut in half by Chu Wei directly from the middle. Chu Wei in the passage swung his long black sword, with a disdainful mockery appearing on the corner of his mouth. Whether it's a tiger, an eagle, or this giant python, they are completely vulnerable to Chu Wei's dark light power. Chu Wei was not in a hurry, and just looked at the black sword in his hand. This is the dark light ranked 98th on the power list. After awakening into form, it is so powerful. Ordinary superpowers and ordinary great awakeners are simply vulnerable to him. In comparison, the challengers killed on the 6th floor of the 9-story Extreme Tower a few days ago were much more powerful than these Great Awakeners in reality. At the very least, a few of them need a little more hands-on work. But here, it's all about chopping melons and slicing vegetables. I really don't know how powerful the swallowing power will be after it awakens and takes form. Maybe it is really invincible among the entire Great Awakened ones. Chu Wei smiled. However, this smile fell in the eyes of Gong Cai in the monitoring room, which immediately made Gong Cai furious. "You bastard, don't be so proud. Do you think my dragon will die so easily?" Gong Cai's words just finished. Chu Wei, who was in the passage, suddenly frowned and hurriedly moved to the side. Chu Wei just flashed past, and when he looked back, he saw several objects sneaking up on him from behind in his keen perception. At first glance, Chu Wei was shocked and saw that the corpse of the 100-meter giant python that had just died was slowly disappearing. In fact, it can't be regarded as disappearing, but the corpse turned into small snakes. After a while, hundreds of meters of corpses turned into thousands of little snakes. These little snakes are also made of steel, with a pair of green and animalistic pupils leaking out of them. Super God System becomes infinitely stronger. Author, Shu Xiangzike. Chapter 437. His. Thousands of little snakes neighed together, and many even climbed onto the surrounding walls, covering the walls around the entire passage. Chu Wei now felt like he was in a snake cave. It looks particularly eerie. Whoosh! 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 These little snakes were heading straight towards Chu Wei like bullets. Chu Wei moved his fingers together and summoned 2 black long swords again, a total of 3 long swords surrounding him. All small snakes that came close to him were chopped at Chu Wei's feet. After these little snakes attacked for a while, they suddenly started to get closer together, and the piles got higher and higher. In the blink of an eye, they were several meters high and hundreds of meters long. These small snakes gathered together began to squirm and merge, and after a while, they turned into the giant python that was 100 meters long and as thick as a person. Hiss! The resurrected giant python roared angrily, and at the same time, thousands of snake heads on its body neighed, looking a little scary. Chu Wei frowned. This was the first time he saw such an opponent who could be resurrected. Chu Wei moved his fingers, and 2 long black swords flew out immediately. Whoosh! Whoosh! The 2 swords, as fast as lightning, cut the giant python into 3 pieces. However, in Chu Wei's eyes, these 3 bodies first turned into small snakes, and then gathered together again and resurrected into a giant python. "I don't believe I can't kill you." Chu Wei's eyes turned cold, and the black sword beside him flew out again and cut the giant python into 2 pieces. At the same time, Chu Wei moved his hand and summoned 2 black swords again. When the giant python's body turned into small snakes again, Chu Wei waved 5 black long swords and began to kill these small snakes crazily. In an instant, the entire passage was filled with black sword shadows, and sword energy crisscrossed and slashed at the little snakes in all directions. When killing the little snake, the sword energy cut countless 1-meter-long holes on the surrounding walls. If someone were here, I am afraid that such a dense sword energy would immediately chop the person into pieces. After a few breaths, the sword energy disappeared, and the 5 black long swords returned to Chu Wei like loyal guards. At this moment, in the passage in front of Chu Wei, the corpses of the little steel snakes were everywhere, so densely packed that they didn't know how many pieces they had become. Chu Wei waited quietly for a while, but the snake corpses never resurrected and gathered into giant pythons. "I thought you really wouldn't die." Chu Wei snorted coldly, stepped over the corpses, and headed towards the end of the passage. When Gong Cai in the monitoring room saw Chu Wei killing the dragon, his eyes became frightened. This Chu Wei's fighting power was too strong. All 3 of his pets in the realm of the Great Awakener died in each other's hands. That's all my own hard work, and I don't know how many resources it took to cultivate it. They were all killed by Chu Wei, and his heart was bleeding at the moment. You bastard, you forced me to do this. Gong Cai punched the screen in front of him so hard that it instantly shattered into pieces. Gong Ke turned around and came to a wall in the room. Press the remaining hand on the wall, and a password keyboard will appear. Enter the password, and then compare it with your own pupil password. After the password was completed, the wall opened with a boom, revealing a headless steel body inside. The whole body is dark in color, and the muscles on his body are bulging like rocks, just like a bodybuilding champion. However, what is more peculiar is that this body is made of black steel. It is a black steel body. Super God system becomes infinitely stronger. Author, Shuxiang ZK. Chapter 438. There are several black tubes on the neck of the black steel body, which look like blood vessels. Gong Cai's eyes were fierce, and he inserted the black tubes into his neck with a puff sound. Instantly, the blood in Gong Cai's body flowed into the black steel body through the tubes. A black light immediately lit up on the black steel body, and at the same time, its fingers moved, and then its entire palm also moved. More and more blood entered the black steel body and slowly went to the heart in the black steel body. With a slight boom sound, a heart in the steel body beat. It was as if this headless steel body came alive. Son of a bitch, I will make you pay the price, I will make you live a life worse than death, in Gong Cai's roar. The hand of the steel body suddenly slashed Gong Cai's neck, just like a sharp knife slashed. Gong Cai's head and body were immediately separated. Gong Cai's body fell down. However, Gong Cai's head was held in the hand of the steel hand, and the black pipes had been inserted into Gong Cai's head from his neck. The steel hand slowly placed Gong Cai's head on his neck. As soon as the two were connected, Gong Cai's head was immediately covered with a layer of black steel. The overall color became consistent with the steel body. At this time, Gong Cai's eyes on his head slowly opened, and his voice belonged to Gong Cai, asshole, I must turn you into material for making machines. At this moment, Gong Cai had obviously completely merged with this black steel body. He abandoned his body and only left a head. He became a half-human, half-machine existence. Bang! At this moment, the door of the monitoring room was violently blown away from the outside. The steel door instantly broke into pieces and scattered around. A young man appeared at the door. It was Chu Wei who chased here. Chu Wei looked inside, and when he saw the black steel body inside the wall, his eyes shrank slightly, because he saw the body of Gong Cai lying on the ground. He also saw the steel head on the steel body. Looking at the eyes full of hatred for himself on the head, Chu Wei knew that this head belonged to Gong Cai. Die, you bastard! Gong Cai's steel body stomped the ground fiercely, and several tiny cracks appeared on the ground instantly. This kind of power was terrifying. His steel body was like a human artillery shell and went towards Chu Wei. Chu Wei moved his fingers, and three black swords formed a triangle and went directly towards Gong Cai. Don't be so proud, Gong Cai roared. Facing this black sword that killed his three pets in a row, Gong Cai hated it from the bottom of his heart. His steel body's fists were a few punches, bang, 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 a burst of sparks flashed, and the originally indestructible black sword was actually knocked back. And Gong Cai's huge fist was in front of Chu Wei the next second. After Gong Cai merged with the black steel body, his body was 5 meters taller, and his fist was bigger than Chu Wei's head. The huge force on the fist directly made the surrounding air into a concave airflow. Chu Wei's eyes shrank slightly. This black steel body was not an ordinary one, and even his dark light ability could not cut it. Chu Wei shook his body and dodged the punch. You are too slow, however, just as Chu Wei dodged, Gong Cai's mocking voice came, and at the same time, Gong Cai raised his foot and kicked him. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Super God System becomes infinitely stronger. Author, Xu Xiangzike. Chapter 439. This kick was too fast. Chu Wei had just dodged the fist, so he had no time to dodge. He had to use the black sword to block it. Bang! Gong Cai's steel foot kicked the black sword fiercely. The huge force was like a strong wind at the moment of collision. Chu Wei's hair and clothes were all blown to his body. Bang! Chu Wei's body was kicked hundreds of meters away and hit the wall behind him heavily. The whole wall instantly became a concave shape. The force of this kick was too strong. It was probably tens of millions of pounds of physical strength. Such strength has completely exceeded the level 1 realm of the Great Awakener. It is probably the strength of the second level of the Great Awakener. Although the Great Awakener level 2 and level 1 are only one small realm apart, the strength will be doubled. At the same time, the defense of this black steel body is too strong, and even the dark light ability cannot cut it. At this time, Gong Cai has become a strong enemy. Chu Wei just stood up, and the next second Gong Cai's body quickly came in front of Chu Wei. His speed was too fast. His current speed could be said to be twice that of Chu Wei. Instantaneous body technique. Chu Wei's body appeared on the other side of the room the next second. Can you run away? Gong Cai snorted coldly, and rushed towards Chu Wei with an extreme speed, and at the same time kicked Chu Wei directly. The force on his leg actually formed a blade directly. If he was kicked like this, he might be cut into two pieces. Too fast. Gong Cai's current speed was too fast. Even if Chu Wei used the instantaneous body technique, he felt that he couldn't handle it. After all, the instantaneous body technique was a skill, and there would be a certain interval when it was used continuously. Chu Wei had to block it with the black sword again. Bang! Chu Wei was kicked into another wall by Gong Cai again, along with the black sword. Chu Wei activated the half-dragon physique, and his whole body was covered with scales, which reduced the damage a lot. At the same time, the physical strength-specific skill, Qi and blood boiling, has been activated to quickly repair his injured body. This is the first time Chu Wei has used the Qi and blood boiling skill. Gong Cai can be said to be the first person who has caused continuous blows and damage to him. Are you very durable? Look, I will beat you into a meat pie. Gong Cai's fist went to Chu Wei again. Chu Wei directly summoned 8 flying swords to attack. Bang! 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 Gong Cai moved forward while knocking all of Chu Wei's flying swords away. It's useless, your swords can't hurt me. Gong Cai punched Chu Wei. Instant body technique. The moment Chu Wei dodged, Gong Cai's fist hit the wall behind Chu Wei. Bang! The huge force instantly caused spider web-like cracks on the entire steel wall. Each of the cracks was as thick as an arm, and it was really frightening to see the mountain. However, the next second, Gong Cai's figure immediately caught up with Chu Wei again. Gong Cai's attack was not only fast, but also like a storm, too fierce. Gong Cai made several consecutive side kicks. Chu Wei dodged too, but was hit by the third, and his body was kicked into the wall again. Kill! Gong Cai roared, and crashed into Chu Wei's wall like a tank. Boom! With a sound, the whole wall, including the entire monitoring room, trembled, and cracks appeared on the wall at the top of the monitoring room. Faintly, this room has been damaged more and more in the fight between the two. Super God System becomes infinitely stronger. Author, Xu Xiangzike. Chapter 440. What's wrong? Aren't you awesome? When Chu Wei escaped from the wall again, Gong Cai immediately caught up with him and kicked Chu Wei away again. Aren't you very good at hunting? Gong Ke attacked again. The two attacked each other. Chu Wei's black sword kept slashing, but it still couldn't split the other's black steel body. Don't I owe you money? Come on. Chase me. What are you afraid of? During the fight, Gong Ke punched Chu Wei again and knocked Chu Wei away, then immediately chased after him and fought again. Come on, kill. Gong Cai roared and attacked Chu Wei crazily. Chu Wei moved his fingers together, and his consciousness continued to override the flying sword attack. The two of them fought directly, causing constant collisions and sparks throughout the room. During the crazy fight between the two, their fists repeatedly hit the wall. Chu Wei's sword energy moved left and right, cutting holes more than 1 meter long in the wall of the entire room. During the fight, the entire room became more and more useless. It could be said that it was riddled with holes, just like an abandoned building. Bump! There was another collision of forces, and Chu Wei was driven into the wall again. This time Gong Cai did not pursue him quickly, but twisted his head on the spot, raised his hand and squeezed his fist. What's wrong? Are you no longer awesome? Gong Cai chuckled. In the battle just now, it can be said that he was chasing Chu Wei all the way. Now he has determined that the bastard opposite him has no means, and now he is bound to win. Now is the best time for him to enjoy victory. Boom! A piece of steel fell from the wall, and Chu Wei's figure slowly walked out of the wall. Chu Wei now looked a little embarrassed. The clothes on his body were torn from the fight just now, and there was blood at the corner of his mouth. Chu Wei now looks like a loser. However, Chu Wei's eyes were as fierce as a lion's. Chu Wei said lightly, "Since I became stronger, you are the first person to fight me so many times. Oh. Saying this will make you look like a failure. Do you have any dignity?" Gong Cai smiled and continued. "If you think it will be better to die like this, then you can continue to say some pretentious words, because if you don't say it now, you will have no chance to say it again in your life." A cruel smile appeared on the corner of Gong Cai's mouth. This bastard would not be able to calm down the hatred in his heart until he was cut into pieces. Chu Wei killed 3 of his pets in the realm of the Great Awakener today, not to mention. It even forced him to give up his body and merge with this black steel body, although his strength had been greatly improved in a short period of time. But this is the man of steel after all. From now on, he can no longer be regarded as a person, but as a monster. Unless, one day he can make great contributions and return to the forces behind him, and then use the force's incredible technology to help him find a matching body, so that he can transform back into a real human being. But this is too difficult. The thought of being a monster in the future and not being able to be intimate with a beautiful woman made Gong Cai's anger instantly return to the extreme. Do you know? Even if you, bastard, die in my hands 1,000 times, you still can't quell my hatred for you. I must torture you. Gong Ke gritted his teeth. Haha, Chu Wei smiled, there are many people who have hated me, but they are all dead, and you will not be an exception. At this moment, Chu Wei was like a king announcing the death of the other party.